welcome back to my channel. I'm actually going to do a little story time about my pregnancy experience in the military. I had 2 pregnancies in the military, but I'm going to talk about the time when I was active duty and the things that I had to do still and what I had to go through as a pregnant soldier in the military. My experiences are based off of me and my personal experience only. They aren't based off of anybody else's experience. Everybody has a different experience. Maybe some people can relate, but for me personally, this is what happened to me. This is what I had to go through. And I can't say it'll happen to everybody because if you've been in the military, you are in the military, or you know about the military, you know every unit is different, every leadership is different, their expectations are different. So don't think that this is what's going to happen to you. It's just my personal life experience, what I lived, and what I can only speak on me. So enjoy the video, and if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. Okay, so I'm here to spill the tea, and it's basically like my story time about, and I got popcorn and I got me my sodas because I know it's gonna be, and you have water, and because it's gonna be my tea time. It's time to spill some tea. It's raining outside, and it's this perfect story weather. So basically, my experience, what I'm talking about, because I've been pregnant twice in the military, but I want to talk about my active duty pregnancy. And, my active duty experience while being pregnant. So, Eli, stop being rude. So, basically, as a matter of fact, I was pregnant with Eli, and I and I, this time of year, it just so happens that we had a lot of missions that we had to do. There was a lot of things and other units that needed support, and I just so happened to be a support MOS. So, which is I did comms. So I basically had to help, set up comms in the field and set up comms or RTO, which that's a level 10 skill. So if you're a soldier, you should know how to operate a radio. But let me go ahead and get back to the real story. Anyways, so normally in some units, the further along in pregnancy you get, the more that they try to like be a little lenient. They don't try to, you know, be as hard. They try to give you a break. They try to let you go to pregnancy PT and stuff like that. Well, I didn't get that luxury because unfortunately we had a soldier that was already taking advantage of her pregnancy, and the leadership was already pretty much annoyed with the whole pregnancy thing. So when I got pregnant, it was a little bit harder for me. They were a little bit, so they still had me going to the field. I remember there was a field operation that had to go on, and at this point too, because like I went one time to the field, and no one knew I was pregnant because I was like, in the beginning of my pregnancy, it didn't even really like show, and I didn't even really wasn't 100% because I hadn't gone to the doctor yet. So I was like, it could be either way, I don't know. I could be pregnant, I could not be. Okay, like so at this point I was like, all right, whatever. So I went and did the field. My friend was there and everything, and we were cool, like we had fun. Well, the second time around that I went to the field, minus the fun part, minus the fact that the generator. So we were in Germany at the time. It was freezing cold every night. We're getting close to winter time, so I want to say it was probably okay. I want to say it was probably like going to like the 30s. Sorry about that, guys. Eli was being rude, and I had to finish the story because I'm losing my train of thought. So I left off where basically I didn't know I was pregnant at the time, and I was in the field. So the only crazy thing that happened in that field, well, that was the only crazy thing, but one of the crazy things that happened during that field op was like I was in the talk, because you have to pull shifts when you're still either fire guard or some sort of like CQ or whatever, like 20, it's usually 24 hours, but in this case it wasn't because we're in the field, so the people break it up into like hour shifts. Like I get 3 to 7, and or 3 to 6, and they get okay, whatever. So you get the point. So you get like a few hours, right? Everyone has to take their turn. So I ended up having to take my turn the same time my friend took her turn, but we were in the talks next to each other. So she was actually on fire guard watching the weapons, and I was on fire guard watching the actual talk where the computers and stuff was, where the higher ups are. Obviously, no one was in there. So this is like the beginning of my pregnancy, so no one was pregnant. But I ended up losing like the radio, not the radio, the generator. The generator turned off. They didn't even tell me where to put like the gas and stuff like that. That was gonna run out at night. So I had no clue. I wasn't even checking that. I was just like, all right, let me just sit here. I didn't even know my. Gosh, yeah. So it literally went, and then everything turned off in my. I was like, it was like 20 degrees outside because we're getting close to wintertime. It was super cold, super dark. We're in, mind you, I was in Germany, so like, I don't know what animals they got out there because, I'm used to Florida. Like, we don't, we got bears and panthers and stuff, but I don't know. They have weird animals out there. They have like wild ferrets and stuff. So I was like, I don't know what's gonna come out of here. I don't know. I was freaking out, so I ran to her talk or the weapons. Um, it was like this set up the same as the talk, but whatever. And I like, or the armory, and I ran in there, and I was like, oh my god, I turned off, and she was like, no way, and I was like, yes, I turned off. It's so dark, and then we had to figure out how to get it started. And I mean, obviously we deal with generators and comms a little bit because there's certain things that sometimes you have to like use a generator for. But so I was kind of like freaking out a little bit. I was like, all right. So I went over there and I was like, oh, it needs gas. It obviously turned off. So we went and figured it out. So we finally figured it out and we got it started again. Or either that or it got disconnected. I can't remember. I don't even think it needed gas. I think it just turned off. So we had to like restart it and it started going and it was fine. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I freaked out because I'm like, I'm thinking the worst, I'm like, what if someone walks in? When you're alone in the dark, you think of the worst things that could happen, and all of a sudden it's like, it turns off and you're dark and you're like, panic sets in and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna die today. Freddy Jason. That's me. Like, I think of like the worst possible things and I just start thinking of things that can't even happen. Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna come out and kill me. Like, first of all, it's not real, but whatever. So that was me. I was having a meltdown. So, Zoom time goes on, and my pregnancy gets further. And I'm still doing PT with the unit. Matter of fact, I was a part of the 10-mile ruck march that we were supposed to have. And I was dying. I was like, oh no. No, this ain't gonna work for me. And they were convinced. They're like, oh, you're still small. You can still do PT with us. You can still ruck your ruck and all that stuff. I was like, ugh. I put like 2 pairs of socks and maybe my little like fluffy thing, that my little like sleeping bag and stuff. So because I was like, I'm not gonna carry all that extra. First of all, I'm not even supposed to be carrying extra weight. Whatever. So I ended up having to do that, and then so I got to a point in my pregnancy where obviously you need pregnancy ACUs. So they send you to go get pregnancy ACUs. And at that point, it's like, when you're in pregnancy ACUs, nobody really messes with you, at least sane people, because they know she's pregnant, right? Well, a soldier, a little boy who's a crybaby, and some people watching this might know who the heck I'm talking about. Well, he decided that he was gonna cry that he couldn't go to the field. It was too hard. So they looked at me and they said, look, I know you're pregnant, hormonal. It's like butt freezing out there. But let me go ahead and make you do it because it's just too hard for him. And I'm like, I have zero sympathy for him. Do you see how big I am? I said, he don't know how to do that? And they're like, no, he doesn't know. He's saying he doesn't. He's stressed out. And I'm like, I'm stressed out. But I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this because I can't. So they wanted me to go out to the field because a lot of times when you're comms, there's like a lot of different things that you can do when you're helping them set up for mission. So you could be the one going there to set up. You could be the one going there during the mission to basically operate the comms or just keep an eye on everything that's good. Or you could go there to break everything down and pack up and leave and make sure everybody has communications until the very last day when nobody else needs to talk out there, not even you, and they leave you out there stranded. And then you just pack everything up and you find your way home. So there's pretty much that, right? So they wanted me to go to the field to help another soldier who was going to set up the communications, to strip wire, to lay out Cat 5, to go ahead and set up all the phones and stuff. And I was already the TCO, so I was the telecommunications officer, or not really like an officer, but it's the person that runs and like tracks all the telecommunications. So I was already doing that. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I could set up the phones, whatever, right? But let me tell you, I forgot that I was gonna be stripping the wire and laying it down. So I'm over here crawling on the floor. Mind you, in Germany already at this point it's winter time. So not only is it occasionally snowing every other day, but it's like below freezing. It's already freezing out there. I was wearing my gloves, but what people don't understand is that when you're stripping wire, you cannot wear your gloves. They're too big. You can't hold the wire. You can't lay the colors because the wires have little wires inside. You know, Cat 5. I don't know if anybody knows, but they have little wires inside, and you have to lay them out like in the color scheme that they're supposed to be in, and then you're supposed to lay the other side in the same color scheme, so that whatever. So you can't really do that with gloves on because it's even hard to do it sometimes with your fingers and laying it out, like if you have fat fingers, to be able to crimp it. So you can't really do that with gloves. So I had to take my gloves off, crawl on the floor, and put tape over the areas underneath the table that had to be where the phones were, and like tape it to the side of the table. Like if there's a phone station here and a computer station, 2 wires had to be here. So I had to do that, and I was just like, oh my god, like they really got me out here crawling on the floor. It is like so cold. I could see my breath. My hands are shaking. I was training somebody else to do it, even though I could have trained the other soldier who cried wolf, but whatever. Let me, not be rude. And, yeah. So that was fun. So that was really fun experience. But you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do because it's what you signed up for. I don't agree with doing everything because I actually ended up having some complications because of all the stuff that I went ahead and did and thought that I could do, because they convinced me like, oh, you can do it, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, pressuring me, making me feel like if I didn't do it, I was being a bad soldier. So I let that get in my head. The number one thing I'm gonna say is take care of yourself, especially when you're pregnant. Nobody cares about your health in the military. Nobody cares about the well-being of your child because they don't have to deal with it at the end of the day. And that stupidity that I obviously let people convince me that was okay to do actually wound me up in the hospital a lot earlier than I was supposed to be. So take care of yourself. But that's a different story for another time. So another thing was I had a really bad morning sickness. And the morning sickness went from morning till night. It never stopped for like 7 months of my pregnancy. So I legit, my friend would come with me to the DFAC and stuff, and like we'd be walking to the DFAC, and I would just like stop on the side and just like like throw up, and then like, all right, let's go eat. I'm really hungry now. And like that was like my life. Yeah, but the DFAC was like bomb. And before people knew I was pregnant, they were giving me extra food, and I'm like, oh, thank you. They were just being nice, but then as soon as they saw I was pregnant, they were like, oh, you ain't cute no more. You ain't getting no extra ham. Like 3 pieces of string, some ham on my omelet, like 1 piece of ham. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. No worries, I can eat plain eggs. Yeah. it's all good and stuff. But good times. But no, it was actually a pretty fun experience. I have a lot of funny stories. What else? Oh my gosh, I have so many. Like, where do I stop? Where do I start? Um, oh my gosh. Okay, so when you're pregnant in the military, they also like you to, when you're going to get your ACUs, they go to the thing and the Germans. So I had a German doctor and everything. Like when you're overseas, you deal with the locals because those are a lot of people that you're gonna be they're working there, working that area, whatever. So the Germans are the ones that do the a lot of the stuff that we, because they contract for the military over there. And I mean, it was really cool and stuff like that. But this lady was just so confident that I was gonna be so fat. She kept trying to give me like extra huge like jumper, and at the time my belly was still small because I was still sick and I wasn't gaining any weight. So I was like, oh my gosh, like it was so baggy, and I hate like telling people like no, it's not gonna fit. So I had to like walk out there and I'm like, ma'am, this is really not gonna fit me. And I was like trying to be so nice, and she was like, no, that's because it'll be good room. I'm like, no, it's like falling off. Like if I walk without, it will literally like fall to the floor. My underwear will be out. Like you'll see my butt. And she was like laughing, and she's like, all right, well I guess we can go. I'm like, go down like 2 sizes. I already know. Just go down 2 sizes. So yeah, I mean that's the struggle that you got to deal with though. And I had a German doctor. That was really cool and interesting. A little bit different. Um, he was so chill. It was pretty much all the same. But one thing I can say about my pregnancy, especially in Germany, was the food was bomb. They had so many bomb restaurants. There's so much culture in Europe because everything is like right there. So there's so many different foods you could try. You could literally go to one place and then it's like, and the food is amazing because their rules in Germany are really strict and stuff like that. And I can go on and tell like a whole German story time, but yeah, their rules are really strict over there with the FDA, so their food is very clean and you can taste the difference. So it was just really like super delicious. That was like the only real plus really was food because your girl loves to eat. But let me say, oh my gosh. And one thing I hated was how ignorant some people were to pregnancy. Like one of my NCOs had me crawl on top of a desk. That he could have did this, stand up and turn on the projector. And one of the soldiers got like really mad, and she was like, "Are you really making her do that?" And then he was like, "Oh, I was just figured it was like she could literally fall off and the baby could die." Like she was so dramatic about it, but it was so funny because I was like, "Yeah, I should have just straight up been like, dude, like you do it." I was a little thrown off by it, but I don't like to talk back. Like I said, I'm not really like the type of person to like be fighting with people. So, I mean, until it comes down to it, but not in uniform. Um, so I don't know. It was just really a crazy experience. The PT stuff was really crazy. Um, just wearing the uniform. And as a matter of fact, the picture of my thumbnail is actually me pregnant. You can't really see because at the time I just would open my button. I didn't really need a pregnancy ACU, and I would attach my top buttons with a hair tie. So I wore that for a while until finally I was like, there's no way, like, this is hurting my gut because I had a pretty small pant size at the time. So, oh my goodness, I had to add this part to the to the story time because like I almost completely forgot to add this. So another thing about like being in the military in Germany was like obviously in the military you have to wake up like at the butt crack of dawn, right, to go do PT. And the one thing that I hated was the fact that I would have to like walk over there. So it was so dark. It was so freezing. And like when we'd be heading over there, me and my friends were walking. Oh my gosh! So one day we were watching everybody bust their butts on the because they didn't see the ice. We were talking so much smack. We were like just laughing, and then sure enough, we go and we all three were starting to bust our butt. I was like slipping. I grabbed my friend, pulled him down with me. I like busted my butt so freaking hard. I'm just like, I was such a hot mess. And that's also what you get for talking and laughing at other people's pain. Karma is a beep. That was, my military pregnancy experience. It's obviously not gonna be like that for everybody. You're not, and like I said, take care of yourself. Speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid to, tell people like, no, I can't do that because I gotta take care of me and my baby. Because no one's gonna look out for you except for you, boo boo. So also, I'm gonna stay tuned to the end of the video because I actually have like a special little message that I'm actually gonna attach to here about a giveaway. So if you're interested in the giveaway, continue watching the video and click subscribe because that's the only way you're gonna be able to be a part of my giveaways. Enjoy the video, subscribe, and thank you so much. So guys, I'm back literally 2 seconds later, but I'm doing a free giveaway. So I'm actually doing if I hit 500 subscribers, I'm doing a free giveaway of the Benefits Cheek Leaders Pink Squad palette. So it basically is gonna have their Tickle. It's a palette exclusive. They don't have this anywhere else. They don't sell it by itself. So it's the Tickle like highlighter, the Hula bronzer, the Dallas blush. They have the Dandelion blush and the California, and Rocketeer is actually like one of my favorite blushes that they have. I love Benefit products, and it comes with a little cute brush. But if you want to be, anybody can be a part of this. If you want to get this for your mom, for your sister, for whatever, you can be a part of my giveaway. All you got to do is subscribe, comment your name below in my comments, and the more you comment on my videos, the more I'm going to notice, and the more I'm going to, the more chances you're going to have at winning the free giveaway. So go ahead and leave your name and subscribe to my channel. And that's the only way you can win. And obviously, once I get to 500 subscribers, then the giveaway will go ahead and commence. I will pick my giveaway winner. But this is a $60 palette, and it also is a value of $150 because obviously it has, each one of these is $30. So, and it also has the exclusive highlighter that you can't get anywhere else other than the Cheek Leader palette. So go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for watching my videos, and thank you for being part of my journey. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Bye.